everybody, welcome to today's stream. Hopefully you can all hear me. It's been a pretty fun day of American football this morning. We had a absolute goal-kicking bamboozle-a-thon from Stephen Gostkowski. It was fucking atrocious. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through the picks on the board and we're going to see which ones were right and which ones were wrong. So what we'll do is grab an image. Right. Browse image. Quickly get back to the desktop. Fade. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know where I've got it anyway. Oh, who cares? So I can tell you anyway off the top of my head, we got the only win of the series at the top there that came from the Vegas Golden Knights. That was a win. Denver Nuggets against the Clips. It's been a 3-0 run from the Nuggets so far. They've come back from 16-point deficits in each game so far. That was a Nuggets victory. Then it was the Chiefs that won, Bucks that won, Poole that won, Tampa that won. Houston won on the back of a 5-run ninth innings. That was a disgusting finish to that game. Lille won, Valencia won, Sharks won, Everton won, and the Rams won. So my pick'ems went 9 from 12. That was the general consensus, so nobody beat me. We all did almost the identical, because where I faltered down here with Dallas, that would have given me the outright win, made it a draw between me and Huntress and Jeremy. So unfortunately nobody wins the gift voucher this week because nobody beat me. But what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll chat about each game that we had our picks on and see where everything sort of bundied out. So what we can say here is that the Dallas Stars have just been an absolute fortress on their back line. Goals have been few and far between. The Knights scored 3 in the second period, which was enough to close it out. But they scored nothing in the first and nothing in the third. Before that they were shut out, and before that they scored 1. So Dallas really seemed to know how to stop Vegas. They have actually knocked them out of the Stanley Cup running now. They beat them this morning, which gave them the 4-1 series victory. So Vegas is now eliminated from the ice hockey playoffs. Then we have the Denver Nuggets, who have just been absolutely phenomenal in the second half. First 2 quarters they seem to just be like dilly-dallying about, and then the second half they just fucking turn on the jets. Absolutely burn everybody. Burn them to oblivion. It's been insane what they've been pulling off. They pulled it back to a 3-3 series equivalency. And there's a very big possibility that the Clips could be going home after the next game. They are really struggling to close the game out. It's been pretty bad to watch as well. After that we had the Chiefs and then the Texans. That was pretty self-explanatory. We've gone through already why the Chiefs won that and the Texans did not. The Saints handled business against Grandpa Brady. He looked terrible, as expected, with a new team, new coordinator, new head coach, new offensive people to try and get chemistry with. He overthrew Mike Evans, he missed an open Godwin, he threw 2 interceptions, so that loss is fairly on Brady's shoulders. Breeze was Breeze, it was dink and dunk boring offense from the Saints, but it got the job done. Liverpool, on the other hand, made everybody sweat here. They went ahead early with a fucking cheap penalty, then it was 1-1, then they were up 2-1, then they were up 3-1, then it was 3-2, then it was 3-3, then it was 3-4 for Liverpool at the end of the game on the back of 2 penalties to Mohamed Salah. Very unimpressive win, but they got the job done. Not really much else that can be said about that other than Virgil van Dijk looked terrible, but it was the first game back, so they'll definitely improve upon that performance. It was a great effort from Leeds, but it was more a bad showing from Liverpool than anything else. Tampa got the job done there. Wasn't a big 8-2 blowout like the last one, but yeah, we'll take the win there. It wasn't impressive. The Islanders didn't really play their best, and the Lightning took a cheap win. Wasn't anything other than that. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. The Dodgers, this game was atrocious. Nothing can be said about how despicable this game was. They were cruising for the win. It was going to be easy. Then here comes the fucking top of the ninth. Here come the Astros. Bang, 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 bang. 5 runs. Top of the ninth. And then the Dodgers end up losing by 2. There were a couple of... I think there was only one Astros pick. I don't think anybody wants to pick the Astros because they're dirty cheaters. I mean, if you're going to pick to win something, you're going to pick the team that cheats, aren't you? We have Lille against Mets in the next one. As I explained it when I did the pick'ems, I thought it was going to be a low-scoring, defensive kind of game with Lille probably trying to steal something pokey, which is exactly what happened. Finished 1-0. Nothing too inspiring, fresh, new, unexpected that happened there. It was all as it was, all expected. Pretty uneventful game. Next one was Valencia against Levante. That was a pretty interesting game, that one. Saw 6 goals, 4 from Valencia and 2 from Levante. Started things off with an own goal. Then it just kept going from there. Levante, they had moments of greatness, but not a lot of them. They did a lot with their possession because they didn't take too many shots, but they backed in 2 goals, so they did enough to get on the scoreboard. However, Valencia do need to work on their defence because their defence was very lacking there, but it is only the first game of the season, so you can give them a bit of a breather from there. Tottenham, Tottenham sucked. Jose Mourinho has definitely put his poison into that team and they look garbage now. I did say that if there was going to be an upset on the board, that would be the one that I would have expected the most, more than any of the other ones, and Everton picked up the 1-0 win away from home. Tottenham were gross. There's no other way to put it. Jose Mourinho is an overrated coach. Hotspur are hot garbage. And it's going to be a very long season from them from what we first saw. I'm not giving them any first game blues. They just look lost. They look very lost. We're going to move into the Sharks against the Warriors game now, and it ended up being a close win for the Sharks. It was the Warriors, as always, put up a decent fight all the way to the finish line. The Sharks wanted that playoff spot. They fought hard for it. They kept it. They did everything they needed to win. And they got the job done. They won. That's what was expected of them. It happened. It's finished now. So we'll let that one slide. And the last game on the board there is the Dallas Cowboys against the Rams. Now that's a game that should have gone to overtime. Because Mike McCarthy, instead of going for the field goal to tie it up 2020, thought he'd go for it on 4th down. Now with all the kickers that have missed kicks this first week, I can understand possibly a little bit why he did it. But I'd rather take the risk of the kicker missing it than going for it on 4th down and not converting, because you just look like a giant bonehead if that happens, and that's exactly what happened. I can understand why so many Cowboys fans are on social media saying, boot McCarty already. I mean, it is the Cowboys. You can't do dumb shit like that or they'll crucify it. It just is what it is. But yeah, that's just how it's gone. No, as I said, nothing too special. Cowboys should have tied it up and taken it to overtime, where they probably still would have lost, because Aaron Donald was an absolute wrecking ball in the middle of that defensive line. He just ate that offensive line from the Cowboys like it was a hot breakfast. He had one snack and kept going back for more. He's a hungry man, Aaron Donald. And I think he's going to have a big season. But now we are looking towards... There's some interesting games going on today. What what I might do is I'll pull them up, go to here we go. Isn't that what we want there, man? That's not what we want. That's the one we're after. Tell you one game I was very impressed with yesterday. It was in the English Premier League with Chelsea against... mental blank here. Chelsea were against Brighton. And they won 3-1. And that was without Ziyech. And without Kovacic. They got a goal out of Kurt Zouma, which is very rare. He actually had a decent game, which is also very rare. There was a penalty which got Chelsea on the board, which was pretty soft. It's a rather soft one. But it is what it is. Sorry about that, chat. Didn't mean to yawn in your face. I was up all night watching my mighty Titans get the job done after missing 553 field goals and extra points. Alright, so now we got that up. We want to look at the EFL. Today we have a bunch of games in the EFL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 games in the EFL. There's two games that stand out straight away as what should be easy wins. See if I can grab this one for you. Yeah, there we go, nice. There we go, we've adjusted that now. So what I wanted to actually look at here is you'll have Gillingham against Coventry, Borough against Barnsley, Millwall Cheltenham, Reading Luton, Derby Preston, Bradford Lincoln, Fleetwood Port Vale, Newport Cambridge, Oxford Watford, Newcastle Blackburn, West Ham Charlton, Bournemouth Crystal Palace, Burton Villa, Leyton Orient Plymouth, Morecambe Oldham, Rochdale and Sheffield Wednesday. Now if we're to point out the obvious wins there, we're going to be saying Aston Villa beats Burton. We'll be saying that Fleetwood Town beats Port Vale. We'll also be saying that... so that's the two that I like the most, and West Ham will beat Charlton. So Villa, West Ham and Fleetwood Town are the top three picks on that board for me there. I think Fleetwood just have the versatility up front over Port Vale. West Ham is like 10 years better than Charlton. That's not even close. It just depends if they're going to play a full strength team. Then you've got Villa against Burton. Burton's a decent side. This could be a smoky here that end in a draw. I don't think Villa will lose, but they could botch it and end up with a draw. So it is what it is. It might end with a draw. Morecambe and Oldham, that's another interesting one. You've got probably Oldham that's the favourite to win there against the Prawns. Morecambe are very decent at home. They don't tend to lose at home very often. Been saying that the last two games with Oldham at Morecambe, Oldham have won the last two. So Oldham on the road, they're an up and down team on the road. They tend to lose a lot. Very inconsistent. We're at home in their last 10 games. Morecambe have lost twice and drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and won 3 times. So at home, Morecambe are a very, very decent side.
Welcome to Ranger HQ.
Hey, thanks for the follow there, Dio Best. Welcome to Ranger HQ. Hope you're having a good day. But like I said, I like to see Villa here win this one, West Ham to win that one, And of course Fleetwood up here, but I think Watford here could be in a bit of trouble because they only played a game a couple of days ago and they were very rusty. Danny Welbeck's out. If they have, what's his name, João Pedro playing, then they've got a good chance of winning. Bookmakers have Watford as the heavy favourites there, which is understandable. It's very, very much an expected result for them to win there. League One, we got Montpellier against Lyon. I assume that'll be a draw. Montpellier are actually doing very well. What a time to be alive with Rennes sitting on top of the French League One and PSG sitting third last with 2 losses from 2 games. Lost to Lens and a loss to Marseille. We've got Montpellier here who are just underneath Lyon. Lyon opened their game, I think it was 3-0, 4-1, and then they had a 0-0 with Bordeaux. Montpellier lost their opener 2 under Rennes and then they beat Nice. So we're looking here, I think overall roster strength, Lyon's the better side for sure. I don't feel that there'll be much of a threat from Montpellier in the scoring department. Lyon have much more versatility with Memphis Depay. They like to play wing ball a lot more, and Montpellier don't really have the defensive backline speed to keep up with football in transition. So you have a very strong chance of Montpellier trying to do everything they can to stack the back line in that one. Should be a pretty boring game if Lyon can't break through. Be a half-field stout. I think Montpellier will probably stick 5 at the back. That's 4 with a roaming defender because in France they generally don't like 5 defenders. They prefer the bounce play from a roaming defender. But at the end of the day, I believe Lyon should come away with the win there. But this isn't going to be one of our picks for the Thursday Throwdown, because if we use that as a pick now, then the Thursday Throwdown is not going to be very relevant, is it? Thursday Throwdown will have some other games that I am interested in. So we'll go straight through. You have Europa League qualifiers. And in the Europa League qualifier, we have... This will be a very interesting one. Bulgaria against Belarus. Everything going on in Belarus right now, the Bulgarians have a bit of an upper hand. Not the CSKA Sofia is a great side, but yeah, it is what it is there at the moment. But there's another interesting one. Viking is good, but Aberdeen is also in good form. Viking tend to do very well, but they've never beaten Aberdeen and they've played them twice. But the EFL Cup action continues here with Burnley and Sheffield, Wolves and Stoke, Brighton and Portsmouth. League One is back as well with Marseille and St Etienne. As a St Etienne fan, I would say that Marseille is the better pick here. Bissar is in quarantine, so they're missing one of their defenders. Pretty rough. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of that because I think that's pretty funny. But we are going to have a few soccer games that are going to be part of our pick'ems. I think I'm actually going to be including some South American action from the Copa Libertadores. We can have a look at some of the Rugby League. That'll be on Thursday. Thursday game there for Thursday Throwdown will be the Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs. That should be not a selection on our board because that's a one-way game. Rabbits 20 plus, so that should be a pretty easy guess there, Ness. Then you got the Eels that are looking to make the playoffs against the Broncos. That'd be $1.10 or something stupid. Yeah, they're $1.10. It's not really worth looking at. Got a garbage hole game there with Manly against the Titans. Manly still sniffing at the fringes to try and sneak into the 8. They've got no chance. God, the points for it against is their demon there, so no, so their season's over, so they won't have anything to play for. Oh, that was my elbow that just snapped then. Wasn't very friendly, it's quite painful, that snap. Ouch. Storm Tigers, yeah, that's Storm all over. They don't know they can field a half-strength team and beat them. Roosters, Sharks, both have something to play for. Sharks trying to stay in the 8. Roosters trying to get... No, they can't get minor prem. That's the Panthers all over. Sunday game, Raiders, Warriors. I think Warriors have done much better than most people gave them credit for. If they didn't balk the last couple of games against the Eels and the Sharks, then you'd be thinking that they're a good shot at the playoffs here. Unfortunately, they bottled those last 2 games, and I do feel bad for them because they're a side that, if they are to make the 8 at the number 8 spot, and they play how they did against the Knights or against even the Bulldogs, they're a side that's just always had that little mystical, magical thing about them where they can just pull points out of a hat. There'll be some ridiculous field length try that just blows your mind when you watch it. As I said back in the days of Manu Vadavai, when they used to just chuck it over the top and this man would do cartwheels over everybody at 6'5", it was just an absolutely amazing thing to watch. They still pull off these kind of plays now, but the thing is, when you play those home run style approaches as a team, the likelihood of you actually pulling that off every week is very small, and that's the downfall of the Warriors. Their peak is extremely high and their floor is extremely low. There's no in between with them. It's just either airball flow. That's it. And if you can get them at that stage of the season with 5 games in flow, then they'll win the premiership one year. That's all that needs to happen. It almost happened once, and they got fucking demolished in the final by the Storm, I think it was. Would have been nice for them to get their maiden premiership, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. The Knights and the Warriors, the Knights and the Dragons, that's another toilet bowl game. Nobody really cares. There might not be anything from Rugby League this week. It's actually pretty boring matchups. Skip through to Thursday. We'll have game 2 on Friday of the Celtics and the Heat. That will definitely be one that is inside our pick and board. So start doing a bit of homework on that, guys, so you can try and win that voucher. Oh yeah, that's right, Jamie, man. Put a bit of homework in and you can make some money. So Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, both playing incredible basketball right now. Celtics just have that wounded dog mentality right now where they just fight and everything is just an absolute brawl for them. And they play really nice basketball right now just because of that factor. You're looking at the Heat too, that just, they love being that underdog. And Jimmy Butler's got his underdog story now, so if he can push the Heat over the top of the Celtics, then anything's possible in this final. Because the Lakers, they don't really impress me all that much. They can be beaten, especially if you can chokehold Anthony Davis, which has been done before. Then the Heat could easily go over the top of them. So could the Celtics. Celtics could easily beat the Heat and then go into the final against either, I'm going to go out and say it, but I think it's probably going to be the Nuggets or the Lakers, because the Clips just keep choking and choking and choking and choking and choking. It's just unbelievable. But I'm happy for that to stay as is. So I've given you a couple of heads up on what we could be looking at. I'll let you guys do your homework of what games could possibly be coming your way. It's a bit of a shame that with this we can't hide all the betting shit. But yeah, it is what it is. Didn't realise I could do that, but whatever. So we've got some games highlighted for our triumphant Now, our return to the pick'ems. What we'll do is we'll get rid of the scoreboard here now, just so I can set myself back up again here. Beautiful. Now we're ready to go for Thursday. I've just got to update this folder here, and we'll have our new pick'ems for Thursday's throwdown, guys. Alright, I am going to stop the stream there now, and we'll get stuck into some game after that. Alright, I'll be back soon. Hey everybody, my name's The Fade. Thanks for tuning into this YouTube. I stream weekly on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Fade with a 4 and a 3. Weekdays Monday to Friday, 9:30 AM to 5 PM CET. Be sure to drop by the stream and give it a look.